I mistakenly deleted the first half of this video and I cannot figure out how to recover it. I don't want to redo the entire video because the half that I was able to keep has some pretty good information in it that I don't feel confident I'm going to be able to replicate. So I'm just going to try my hand at the first half of the video. But hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is 𝕍𝕆𝕒 and this was a video for me to talk about a new danmei publisher. Well, not a new danmei publisher, but a danmei publisher that I was trying out some of their titles because I didn't have anything from them in my collection prior to buying these two novels. And those are The Missing Piece and Limerence from the publisher Via Lactea. I hope I'm saying that correctly. But I decided to pick up these two specifically because they are just single volume titles. I have read The Missing Piece. I haven't read Limerence yet, but I've heard really good things about both titles and I'm excited to read the second one. But I bought both of these from Amazon and I was saying in that video that I have now lost that the pricing for this on Amazon was about $23 to $25, which is a little bit higher than the price point for releases from Seven Seas and Peach Flower House, which would be the publishers that most of my danmei titles are from. And even occasionally you see some Seven Seas releases that have some discounted prices on Amazon. Not so much for Peach Flower House. I don't think I've ever seen discounted prices for any of them on Amazon or even on their official website. So yeah, this has a little bit of a higher price point, but if you buy them through Amazon, if you have Prime, or even if you don't have Prime, if you hit the limit where you can get free shipping, you can get free shipping with Amazon. Alternatively, if you buy these titles on the Via Lactea official website, I noticed that they come with some extras like freebies, and someone brought this to my attention because they live in Ontario and there is a physical Via Lactea store in Ontario where you can actually drop in and pick these titles for yourself physically. And they shared pictures of their own versions of this series with me. And they just came with really cool extras that I would have loved to have. But if you buy them from the website, you have to pay for shipping. I tried adding these two books to my cart on their website and just trying to calculate the estimated cost of shipping. If I did that, it was $17, which is like the price of an entire book. So I will not be doing that. But I do live in Michigan and that is not too far of a drive from Ontario. That's like a 4-hour drive. It's not a drive I haven't done before. I've been to Canada a couple of times. Aside from the fact that it's another country and I'll need my passport to get in, it's not like the worst trip in the entire world. So I'm just mentioning this in case you're in the area, or if you can make that trip easily, or you plan to be in Canada anytime soon, pop into the store. It's a really nice store. And yeah, I just wanted to mention that. But I'm going to talk a little bit about The Missing Piece. I think where I stopped that video that I lost was I was trying to talk about the synopsis, and I mentioned that there isn't really a synopsis on the back of the book. All it mentions is the fact that, well, all it mentions is this line: a look in your eyes betrays you when you fall for someone, even if you don't say a word about it. The Missing Piece. And I think in the other video that I was able to keep, I'm trying to summarize what I can remember about it, even though I don't have a synopsis. So let's hope this is a good stopping point for that other video to now take over from here. All right, bye. It hasn't been too long since I read this, but I am also pretty drowsy, so I don't know how good of a job I can do with summarizing this, but I will still give it a try. So the book starts out, you have your two main characters, 𝕬𝕉𝔻 and 𝕍𝕆𝕒, who are in this very weird relationship. And I call it a weird relationship because right off the bat you can tell, or the book does give you information that their relationship is not a conventional one. It's more like a contractual relationship. But as you keep reading, you also realize that one of the people in this couple had amnesia, or maybe he still has amnesia, and there are just so many holes in their relationship that need to be filled in for you, and that's what the book is trying to do. There is also a point where the relationship, even though it's a contractual relationship, also kind of has a love triangle, and that love triangle becomes a love square because the third person that's meant to be or meant to have feelings for one of the people in this couple is already in his own relationship with someone who is in love with him. I know that was confusing, so let's just focus on this love triangle becoming a love square. So you have a love square, and the book is trying to focus on entangling, well, is it on untangling this love square, and also trying to help you understand the weird relationship between the two main characters. And what I enjoyed about this book is because since it's just a one book, you don't have to wait for too long before things become a little bit clearer to you. And the misunderstanding in the book, or the misunderstandings in the book, again, don't take too long to become clearer. They don't drag on for too long. They aren't the kind of misunderstandings that are just so annoying and you want to throw the book away because why can't you guys just talk to each other? The misunderstanding actually made sense. It was handled in a way that if you look back on it, sure, I mean, there are some things that could have been done to probably avoid everything that happened afterwards, but in hindsight they do make sense as well. We're all human here. There are some times where we just fail to do certain things and you look back and think like, oh, if only I just done that, maybe this wouldn't have happened, but you really can't do that. And that's pretty much what the story is about. For the love triangle though, something that did stand out to me is the other person who could have potentially been a partner for one of the people in the main couple. I don't feel like that's a great way to mention this person. Okay, so you have your two main characters, 𝕿𝕉𝕚𝕝 and 𝕍𝕆𝕝. 𝕍𝕆𝕝 has two people who are interested in him, and I really enjoyed the fact that the two people who were interested in him, both of them weren't like outright good or bad people. So I think one person definitely would have been harder for him to have a relationship with in comparison to the other person, but personality wise and what they did or how they were described in the book, they were good or decent choices. He could have easily ended up with either one of them. And the reason why that stood out to me is sometimes in like manhwas or webtoons where you have like love triangles and there's a second male lead, some authors tend to make them look outright just bad. So it's easier for your female lead or your male lead or main character to choose who they're going to end up with. So the example that automatically comes to mind is 𝕬𝕬𝕝. As much as I fucking hated that series, even though I only read the first two books, look at Tamlin and Rhysand. I hope people who are watching this video are able to get this comparison, but you had a male character or a male lead in the first book that looked decent, and all of a sudden there was another male lead in introduced in the second book, and then the male lead that you were introduced to in the first book was demonized in order to make the second male lead look much better. I don't think that's something that's necessary. In life, there are just some situations where you have two really good choices and you have to just suck it up and choose one. I mean, even though I brought up the example of webtoons, similarly in webtoons and manhwa or even dramas, if you are into any of those things, there is something called the second male lead syndrome, where sometimes the second male leads are much better than the first male leads, or they are just as good as the first male leads. You have two very good options, and it is just up to whoever has to choose between these two people to choose which one they can live with. Sometimes you have two good options and you just have to choose one. There isn't always a need to demonize one male lead to make the other one look better, is the point that I'm trying to make. And I really enjoyed the fact that this book didn't try to do that. Like I said, there was one person who it would have been easier to have a relationship with in comparison to the other person, but that was pretty much it. It didn't come down to their personality and how good or bad this person was. They were both pretty good options in my opinion, and I really enjoyed that. Another thing that I really enjoyed about this is that when the main book ended, it had lots of extras. I know a lot of danmei in general usually have extras, but I've read extras that don't feel super satisfying. The extras in this book were very, very, very satisfying. Like, you actually get to see into the lives of the couple after the story ended and how they get used to being in a legitimate relationship with each other after the fact, and it was just very enjoyable. So I'm really excited to read Limerence for that reason, even though they're not by the same author. I'm guessing because I've heard good things about it, and I think this one has like an esports setting based on what I was seeing on someone else's page that talked about this. This one also doesn't have a synopsis for some reason. All it says on the back is, "I've liked your boyfriend for a long time." Wait, you know what? I'm actually starting to remember something about this. I'm going to go look up what it's about. I'm starting to remember something, but I don't want to say the wrong thing and assume what it's about. So I'm going to look it up. Synopsis for Limerence. Our story starts when 𝕬𝕬𝕬 finds out his boyfriend of 3 years, who he has been dating since high school, is cheating on him. But 𝕬𝕬𝕬 also accidentally discovers that his boyfriend's flatmate has apparently had a crush on him since high school. Even after a jog down 𝕬𝕬𝕬's high school memory lane, however, he still has no recollection of 𝕬𝕬𝕬. I'm thinking 𝕬𝕬𝕬 is the flatmate that has a crush on him. A story that starts out with a one-side crush tinged with the beauty of youth and insatiable hormones begins to unfold as their university life begins. Despite obstacles and the backlash from their peers, the feelings they have for each other only grow stronger and stronger. Esports, art, fan culture, and can't forget about studying, of course. Everything you can think of and more when it comes to university life, this book delivers. This book allows you to live vicariously through our protagonist's pure and passionate love story. So yes, the line at the end, "I've liked your boyfriend for a long time," triggered something in my memory, and that was why I decided to go look up the synopsis. So he finds out his boyfriend is cheating on him, but then he also realizes that his boyfriend's flatmate had a crush on him, and I think he ends up with his boyfriend's flatmate. So like a second chance kind of story, I guess. Not a second chance with the boyfriend, but a second chance at love in general. That sounds really interesting. I don't know if I'm going to be able to read it this month, like I said earlier, but I'm going to give that a try anyways. But those are the 2 Via Lactea titles that I've picked up, and if there are any one of them that you've also tried, I would like to hear about them. Lip and Sword is one that I was looking into because it was written by the same author that wrote In the Dark, and I just read that 2 months ago. Really enjoyed it, so I will pick it up eventually, and just a bunch of other titles by this publisher that I'm interested in. But if there are any one of them that you've read and you would recommend, let me know in the comments. And that is the end of this video. Whatever day you find yourself watching this, make it a great one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.